So, so we are live now. So, hey guys, hope you are doing good. Here we have with me special guest Kezia Noble, very long in game, and I think who the people who are in pickup and they should be knowing about her, at least all the London scene, and I think you are world famous actually.
Mhm. Yeah,
So tell about yourself, Kezia Noble. This is
yeah,
your real name. This is your
yeah,
real name.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I know it sounds like a stage name, but it's a real
But
name.
Kezia look like some Muslim name. It is not. If I'm not,
No,
Kezia word look like Muslim or something.
yeah,
But you are the.
it looks like a Muslim name because it's got the Z in it. And someone told me that that's why a lot of people think I'm Muslim because the
Yeah,
Z is
yeah.
popular in Arabic. No, it's
Okay.
a name from the Bible. My parents weren't religious; they just liked the name. I was meant to be
Uh,
Victoria, and they changed their name last minute.
okay.
Victoria
Okay.
Noble. Anyway, but
Okay.
anyway, so I'm in London. I have been helping guys to get better with women, to attract more women, to increase their success rate with women since 2006. It's a long time. Um, I now run my own company. I have my team of amazing coaches. We run a wide range of programs, both live programs and online. I have training products, and I also have my best selling book, The Noble Art of Seducing Women.
Mhm.
I didn't choose that name, my publisher chose that name. So that's on them. And yeah, that's what I do now.
So you are in the game. You are like since 2006.
2006, correct.
Six. So how you so you if I watch some of your old like interviews, you work with which was that pickup PUR training, something like that in the very old days, and then with Mystery and all these guys.
So I was working for PUA Training, which were a company established in 2005, and it's a UK-based company. I didn't work with Mystery. I've met Mystery a few times. I've hung out with him, gone to nightclubs with him, but I haven't actually worked alongside him. No.
Ah, okay. So actually, when I like see you, so I have to in my old days I'm going talking about 2012 when I was not getting laid. So I came out with this RSD self amusement thing, just so at that time you had I think you should be knowing it. You had a DVD. Um, Incredible Connection or something like that with
That was my first one, DVD. Yeah.
yeah, this deep connection kind of so I watched that at that time. It's like almost 13 years ago, no, 12 years, 2012. It was 2012. I think maybe you released it earlier, but that time I watched your DVD. So I needed to have much more like that, not that DVD, but more other. I have to like study and practice other things also. But I remember I watched that, and it did help me a bit in building connection kind of stuff. It was a good actually in building connections. It was a good knowledge you gave at that time.
Thank
So
you. So
so
that was back in 2010, and I've got a lot of. Well, they're not DVDs anymore. Obviously, they're all like
yeah,
online.
yeah,
But yeah, that just gives you an idea of how long I've been in the game for. Is that DVDs and those things. I don't
yeah. At that
think
time it
people
was
do
DVD.
real products anymore. I mean, I've looked at some of like my competitors, and they just don't. I don't know. They don't seem to be. There seems to be like an ebook here and there, but I don't really see many online training videos so much anymore.
Yeah, it's like a lot of guys are gone, and there are some new guys are there also. There are like now these days it's more like they do kind of mentorship kind of program or something. Actually, I have released like just latest I released Dating in Fields Domination. Actually, this is like complete infield product. So my first infield product, and it has infield from all over the world, London, New York, Germany. I am German based from Berlin. So you have actually fans in Germany also.
Yeah, no, I've been to Berlin. It's one of my favorite
Ah, you
cities.
have been.
I've been to Munich.
Okay.
I did boot
So
camp there.
so these days they do like kind of mentorship kind of. I have seen this trend is going on, so people are not releasing that kind of like online, because the theory is the product, lot of things are already there. It's just now sometimes people go for one-on-one kind of training kind of thing. So I think this is what you also do. You do something like 7 days mastery program. What is it? It is also some real-time boot camp, or?
No, it's one-on-one. It's bespoke training. So we have a student that starts on a Monday, finishes on a Sunday. They get to have an induction done by me. It's a very thorough induction, very eye-opening experience for them. We kind of work out their unique attraction code, and then they sit down with me and tell me what they think their sticking points are, their strengths are, and what they want us to help them to achieve on the program. And then they get to work with each one of my trainers, a daytime session and an evening session. It's full on, it's very intense. From what I understand, there's nothing else out there like that. And we've been running those since 2010 when I launched my Deep Connection. Maybe it's slightly before that. And yeah, it's like I've got a fantastic team. They all offer something different. And then what happens is the student, he takes what he wants from each experience. So he can, there's some things that he might say, that's not for me, that doesn't fit in my lifestyle, which is fine. But we allow him to cherry pick what he wants.
Okay. So what are the problems, like since you are like in London, in England? So what are the problems, like especially like if it's because England is very multicultural, so it's like you have like black guys, brown guys, Asian guys, British guy, white British guy. So what are the, like, for example, if I ask you like and you are in this game since more than 10, like almost 15 years now. So like British guy, a white British guy is come, because I sometimes I use race specific words. So because we know that like race do matters in game, sometimes. And Indian guy will having other kind of issues, black guy have some other kind of issues. So if I say like white British guys are coming, so what are the problems they are facing? What are the problems they face? Then I will ask you about the other races.
Sorry to disappoint you. They all come in the same things.
Oh, really?
It's approach anxiety, running out of things to say too quickly, and not being able to sexually escalate, getting stuck in the friend zone, not being able to take it any further.
Okay.
You have, look, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think, we have had some Indian guys say, "Oh, it's my accent," but most of them haven't had an issue because they're Indian. From my understanding, no. I think the majority of our students are probably white, but the Indian, Pakistani, Arabic men that we have had, that was never brought up. Once or twice, I the accent maybe, but it's mainly just the same approach anxiety, running out of things to say, not being able to sexually escalate.
So majority of the guys you have like are like white guys, white British guys.
I would say no. 50% are American. We have most of my fan base is in America.
Okay. So they come.
They come, yeah. So
Oh.
let's say if you're going to put it just down to race, I would say 80% white, 10% East Asian, so
Okay.
Japanese, and another 10% Indian. Indian. We have a few black guys, not many black guys, but I would say we've helped maybe on the 7-day course, because we've helped thousands of men. I would say about 100 of them on the 7-day course have been black, so it's they're probably the minority.
And so like the system, you have some kind of specific system you teach, like somebody's coming, so how to approach, how to escalate or something. You have a specific guidelines or something. So how you do?
I have mine, and then my coaches have theirs. and I look at everything that they teach, and if I think I approve it, then they're allowed to teach it.
Okay.
Goes with the personality type. So, for instance, you mentioned approach. Um, there are direct approaches and indirect approaches. It depends on a few things. It depends on what the situation is, number one, what the situation is, what the mood is of the guy. If the guy's in a low mood, going in direct can be a bit of a struggle. And also his personality type. So if he's a very extroverted person, he can go and say something absolutely stupid to the woman and love bomb her. He can do the whole love bomb route. He can go the whole love bomb route. But if he's quite a quiet person and he's just an introvert by nature, that's not going to play well for him. So he's going to be probably better with doing indirect or like some low level kind of, not low level, but like low risk direct approaches. So, but my one is always like, I have a standard one that I think works. And the opening line is, "This is so random." This, because immediately when you say this is so random, you are reinforcing that you're not sort of going out and just chatting up women. Like, this doesn't usually happen, you know. This is so random, but I wanted to come over and say, and then give her a compliment, which feels bespoke. So women, they want to feel special, not idolized. The big difference. So guys kind of think, I'll just keep feeding them compliments and they'll feel special. They'll just feel idolized. You just pick one specific compliment, something that possibly she hasn't heard before, or it's said in a way that she hasn't heard before, heard it in that way, then that's going to be like, oh, that's a little bit different. And it's very important for the guy to say, "I think you're so-and-so." Because with compliments, a lot of guys make the mistake of saying, "You are beautiful," rather than "I think you're beautiful," because it has to be about you and her, the compliment, not just. So my opening line is always, "This is so random. I had to come over and say, I think." Now, what I would do then is say, I think you're dressed beautifully. And then compare her to other women who haven't made the mark. So that way you're showing that you've got high value on top of it. That's my general structure. But
Okay. Yeah.
you can play around with it for sure, alter it.
Okay. So for example, if somebody is saying so in one way, like you are saying, like be honest to the we should be the guy should be honest to the girl or something like that, honesty kind of thing. So if somebody is going indirect kind of thing, so you are not like saying that being indirect is like, it's, oh, you are not man enough now, you are not because there are some dating coaches, they say like, if you are not going direct or you're going indirect, then you are not honest with your intentions, and this is not good because then you are not man enough, you are afraid, something like that.
Right. So this is exactly what I think. This is why I prefer men to go direct with me, because I like that confidence. I admire that confidence. However, who has told you this has been a man? Because women play a game in their head. Okay, this is where men get it a bit wrong. They get it a little bit wrong because they don't understand about how a woman is operating. So even though I can look at it objectively and say, yes, a man that goes up to a woman, says how he feels, he is by default the more confident one than the guy who is kind of going around the houses to get to the point. However, women play a little game in their head. So if she is not a confident woman who kind of, not just not a confident woman, but she has like feminist issues in her head and things like that, and she doesn't like the idea that a guy approaches her, says something very direct to her, and then she, even if she likes it, she won't play the game, because then she'll think, oh, I look too easy. I look like, like he thinks that he can win me over by saying that. So unfortunately, the guy with those kind of women has to play the game, even though they both know it's bullshit. It's so that she can kind of sell it to herself later, like, oh, he only wanted coffee. Sort of make it, sort of translate it into a way which fits in with the narrative that she wants to go with. Whereas I'm not like that. And there are women who are like me who are not like that. But there are so many women who want you to play the game so that they can translate it the way that they want to later. You see what I mean? So if a guy goes and says, oh, I think you're absolutely beautiful, let's go get a coffee. And she said, yes, that coffee. She said, oh, he just came up and said it was beautiful. He used a line on me and I fell for it. Do you see what I mean? But if he went and did and played all this kind of like bullshit, like, oh, you know, where's the nearest this and where's the nearest that, and starts talking to her, she'll feel like, oh, yeah, you know, he wanted directions and then he got to know me and he liked me, and it's all bullshit. And she kind of knows it is, but that's the narrative she wants to create.
You said it is bullshit, like, so it means that you're not approving that this is a bullshit
No,
kind of thing.
no, I meant it's bullshit, as in they both know it's bullshit when he's saying, I want directions. Like, why would he, like, unless the guy goes and says, excuse me, do you know where so and so is? And she says, yeah, it's over there. He goes, okay, thanks, bye. If he's, you know, staying and talking to her, she knows deep down that he used that as a line to speak to her.
But in one way, like if we say like you are saying, but the thing is when the girl is talking, in my experience, when the girl is talking, then she's not thinking deep down because she's in the moment, so she's not able to process that. Maybe, but it is a like kind of plausible deniability in the sense like if the guy is going indirect, then it is like logic. If we see logically from a man perspective, there's a must be, but the girls normally are in the moment, more emotional creature, more in the moment, so she must be not exactly thinking that, oh, he want to approach me, so that's why it also works, because then he continue the conversation like indirect kind of like way Starbucks or something, and from there it is going on. Even if we say like it is a plausible deniability, maybe she know, maybe she don't know, but since the guy is not saying directly that she's like cute or something, uh, it can she's not 100% sure that what he actually want. Make sense?
Yeah, she's not 100% sure. She's 99% sure. And that is just enough for her to play the narrative. That's what I'm saying. She's not 100% sure. She can turn around and say to her friends, he came and asked me for directions, and then it led on to this. You know, you see what I mean? So there's that 1%. I'm not sure. That's the whole point. That's why you'd go into
Mhm.
it. Because honestly, it's not a 50-50 case here. Any guy that comes up to me, unless he's in a rush and literally I tell him where to go and he runs off. Apart from that case, and I just happened to be the first person he saw that didn't look like a tourist, then yeah, he's approaching me for a reason. Even if it's just like a sort of just to talk to an attractive woman. Sometimes I've noticed guys do that. They just want to sort of, they see an attractive woman, they just want to sort of talk to her, and then they don't
Mhm.
do anything about it. I don't know. It's a funny thing. They're sort of drawn to it almost. Like just want that moment talking with an attractive woman, and then they sort of just go. You know, they don't pull the trigger, so to speak.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I when I teach guys, so I teach like it's a mix of sometimes it's depends on the personality. You are right. Like, sometimes I say them like, go direct, something like that. But even if we say like, I say like go direct, then I always we use like we say not all the thing we say, like most of the part is like positive the statement, but we put slightly negative, like what we say neg or like negative spike or something, like we say like you have a nice style, but I think you're not in fashion, you are looking something like mix
Cold
of both.
reading,
So
cold
huh?
reading, cold reading.
Yeah, slightly like, yeah. So in that way, it slightly. This is like now what I teach, but in some situation, I also tell guys like to go direct if like the personality and is matching to the guy and the girl environment, everything. So yeah. So
Yeah,
you have
the
been
moment and the circumstance are important too. So if the girl's in a rush, you can't go indirect. If she's in a rush to get somewhere, you've got to go direct. There's no other choice. If she's
yeah. If the yeah.
sitting in the park, it's better to go indirect. So a lot of it is about circumstances.
Yeah. Like because you are right. Because if the girl is in rush, then definitely we need to have a very solid reason to stop them, to stop the girl. And direct approach is one of the very solid reason to stop the girl, because you just cannot go and the girl is in the rush. Then you cannot just like very Starbucks and like having small chat. That it is
Exactly.
very tough to.
you got to be bold and stubborn. You got to say, hey, listen, I know you're in a massive rush. I don't give a shit. I'm coming to. So you've got to say something absolute, like, woo, like mind blown. What the fuck did he just say to me? You can't go, oh, excuse me, I just want to tell you, this is so random. I think you're gorgeous. Ew, it's got to be something totally like, what did you just say to me? What did you just say? To get that attention.
Yeah, I think like Oxford Street is very, very like there is like lot of rush, and like if you're not like you get like what we say like the like bulldozered by the girls because they are like so fast there. I have seen there Oxford is very, very like fast paced,
Yeah, no,
that
it's very,
place.
yeah.
So you have been in games a long time. So have you seen the changes compared to the older days and now? Because now, like social media and all, like what you recommend guys to deal with all this modern, in the modern dating situation, competitive dating market, because it is very much globalized now. If you see like because of this Instagram and like Tinder, you can also say, but everything is the girl has all the options in their hand. And so how you teach your like what are the scenarios, what are the like solutions you present to the guys, your students, or like the guys you follow, they follow you, I mean.
So if they are relying on dating apps and social media and they're not a good looking guy, it's going to be difficult immediately. Every guy I know that's not, the top 10% of good looking guys, they don't do very well out of dating apps. They don't get the kind of girls that they want anyway, because it's all very superficial. Everyone's very replaceable. I don't use dating apps myself, but my sister, she was using one the other day and I was watching her. She was on Hinge and I found it very interesting. She was swiping like this.
Yeah. Left,
So
left, left.
the man's face he was like a ghost. Like his face had not uploaded properly. I was like, I said, no. I said, you didn't even get to really look. She goes, no, no, no. And it becomes more obsessive. It becomes like, not obsessive, it becomes to the point where they're saying no to everybody because everyone's become so replaceable. Now, you want to go put yourself in that kind of, hamster wheel, going round and around, just being replaced and replaced, go ahead, waste your time. Because dating apps are a waste of time for most people. And they are presented and marketed as a silver bullet. This is the solution. You'll get results. And I think in the early stages it did do very well, but since sort of like the explosion of Instagram and filtered pictures and everything, I think since then people have had less and less success. And it's a lot of wasting time, sort of like going on dates with people who don't look like their pictures. Everyone's going on dates, starting off disappointed, both men and women. The women are fatter and the men are shorter. And that's it, right? And everyone's putting pictures up that are either 5 years old or filtered to look 5 years ago. Everyone. Nobody looks better than their picture now. And yet, 20 years ago, when I was dating and I was young, and someone showed me a photograph, they go, well, this is a bad photograph. He looks better in real life. And they always look better because everyone had bad photographs and everyone looked terrible in photographs, apart from models.
Yeah.
Now, so immediately you're disappointed. Immediately like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. And, sometimes it's fine, you can carry it through. But imagine starting on a disappointment. Now, when you meet someone in real life, someone chats you up, you're excited to go meet them. It's no disappointment. The disappointment might come during the date because they turned out to be weird or not funny or whatever. But that immediate, when you see each other again, it's not disappointment because you already have an idea of how the person looks, what their vibe is like, eye contact, facial expression. So that's what I say to my students: have dating apps as an don't rely on it. It's like just an extra way to meet women. It's like an afterthought. It should be for you. It should be like nothing to do for like 5 minutes in front of the TV. Have a swipe through and see anything. And don't invest so heavily in it. So it's interesting because you said that a lot of women feel like like there's so much choice, right? This is what you said. Yeah. But for men and women, the choice is so artificial. it's an artificial sense of choice for both men and women. Both men and women. Women think they've got all these men after them because of their Instagram and stuff like that. But in reality, men aren't chatting them up as much. Men aren't approaching them, which is why it's a perfect time to be approaching. So when we started doing our courses, being honest with you, Oxford Circus, it was pretty well known for pickup artists. And we would have girls say, I just got chatted up 5 minutes ago from someone using this kind of line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2008. And now they're saying, nobody chats me up. Beautiful
Uh-huh.
women chats me up, they say.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like you have some street harassment laws in London. Maybe some guys
No,
are afraid or something. No.
no. You have all sorts of funny things and nobody follows it and no one prosecutes and no one contacts anyone about it. We've never had a problem. Never.
Okay. So yeah, that's like interesting because the London scene is like it was quite famous, and a lot of guys who are like dating coaches from London who are they are not gaming that much in London, and they are like what we say migrated and like traveling all over the world. I think it was always the case in London, so nobody's like stationed like staying like in the core London, and everybody is like they do some game in London and they get famous slightly and then just leave, and like this is what I have seen. Like
Deepak.
they're hmm?
Deepak. Am I saying your name correctly? Deepak.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. They can't afford to live in London. This is it. London's the most
Okay.
expensive real estate in the world. I think the one that's more is Tokyo or something. Tel Aviv is quite high. London's one of the most expensive cities in the world. They can't afford to live here, so they go live in Eastern Europe and they go live in like I don't know places where you pay like barely anything to live there. And you know they kind of sell it with well the girls are more beautiful in Eastern Europe, so I'm going to go there. Okay, fair enough. There are lots of beautiful girls there. I do understand that, but most of it is because it's expensive to live in London. Sorry.
No, London also have beautiful girls actually. It's like it's not like they have ugly girls actually. They have also beautiful
Exactly.
girls.
So I think a lot of them are kind of saying, "Oh, I don't like English girls. I'm going to go to, you know, I'm going to go to, Kosovo or something, Bosnia,
Kosovo.
or wherever. I don't know, Bosnia or Serbia, and you go, oh, okay, it's
Belgrade.
interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't know about, but you know, it's much cheaper there. And you think, well, hold on, there's very beautiful women in Paris, Los Angeles have beautiful women. No one's moving there. Why? It's expensive. That's why.
Yeah, that can also be the reason.
And a
Yeah,
lot of
like
girls in Europe, which nobody wants to talk about. Nobody, and you know, I'm not saying that they're intelligent girls or everything, but a lot of them, yeah, they do want to, you know, come to England at some point. I mean, they know this. The
yeah.
guys know, the girls know this. Come on, it's an arrangement almost.
Yeah, this is so. So your strategy is like in today's time, 2023, and like future, what we say. So it's better to learn the game, or like learn to meet girls in the daytime scenario. Like date, you teach night game also, or just focus on.
Yeah, both.
Ah, okay, okay. So learn to meet the girls in real time rather than relying on the online. I think the guys who are getting girls through online, they will not be coming for the coaching anyway. And the
Yeah,
guys who,
they come
hmm?
afterwards. They go, you know what? I've spent 3-4 years
Uh-huh.
invested in these dating apps, and now I'm done. So yeah, but even if the ones that do rely on the dating apps, what happens is they forget that social skills you have to exercise. It's like a muscle. You get very stiff. You get very You get very stale. And a lot of them, you know, think about how we talk to each other on social media. When we text each other, we can edit and we can make sound witty and funny. Whereas when you're like, you know, one-on-one with someone, you've got to be quick like that. You can't edit what you said. And I think that a lot of the people also, when they meet someone online and they meet them in real life, they go, well, even just the looks thing, they go, they're not funny. And I thought they were going to be a really funny, confident person. But I saw something recently. I'm not going to say the name, so don't worry. I won't say any names on this show that could advise you in any way. I wouldn't do that. But there is a big podcast show, and it is Red Pill podcast show on YouTube. And I'm looking at all the comments on the side chat, and they're all big mouths in there, and everyone sounds very alpha, confident. And then I saw a recent meetup with these guys that they filmed, and I was like, those voices do not fit. They do not fit with what I'm seeing here. So you can be anyone you want online. You can be that big bravado, confident person, and then you meet the person. It's completely different. So
Okay, so like, you mean like you meet these guys on the online, then you have a like real time meetup in London, and then they were looking like a what we say pussy, and in the online they're like alpha male and
no, these are not my followers. This is from this show, and they went and had a meetup, and they filmed it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I always
ah.
expect these big alpha kind of guys, but it's like chihuahuas barking and barking, and then you slowly go, oh, it's a chihuahua.
I understand. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like there are like so there are. I have seen some guys also like in my whole like situation, and I remember. Uh, I don't know if you know about me. Like maybe you are seeing me for the first time actually.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Oh no, what have I let myself in for?
You should
What are
have
you
some
talking?
immigrant followers. Like you have to be a bit kind of more what we say international. So you have to take care of everyone.
Yeah, but fine, whatever. I don't
So
mind.
no, so I was when I was doing like game and like I'm from India. I migrated in Germany and then like from there and quite sometimes and then I also like to tell like it's not like I can only get laid in my home. I can get laid. I can bring results all over our people all over the world and sometimes like you have to people have to back up what they are saying. This is what I see, and sometimes people just say a lot on online, and then they never, when it comes to prove something, they just like what's hide behind curtains and never like show up or something like that. And I took this as a personal challenge for me that yeah, okay, I'm India. It's gonna be like maybe tough, but I just dive in the water and let's see how it goes. So that was the first time I was in London. It was like good actually, and now like I have also done like many boot camps and bring results there in USA also. So it is like sometimes you have to take challenge and prove it. This is how I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there we have. So now, like, so you teach like your base is in London, and you teach like guys only in London, something like that, or you travel all over the world also.
Well, we train in London and in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So why Las Vegas? Like, so you like the like European guys go there, or do you have like yeah,
Mainly
you.
American, mainly. So we have some Americans that don't want to travel to England. Some of them don't have a passport even.
Mhm.
So we hold workshops there. And the reason we picked Las Vegas is because my team, they have a lot of connections in Vegas. We can get them into the best nightclubs, and
Mhm.
uh, yeah, it's just and it's a fun city. You can do a lot of
Yeah,
game
I've been
pickup.
there.
I love it.
So in Las Vegas, when you go, so you focus on like I guess like more like night game kind of thing,
Slightly
or
more.
like
We do day game, but it's like a little bit more night game. But we still do day game.
so day game will be more likely kind of lobby kind of game, like I guess like in the casino area and all. If I'm right.
Lobby and shopping malls also.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, there's
Obviously,
Hollywood Hills. What is Hollywood something like shopping mall there? I guess.
God, I
Um,
can't remember. I mean, like I have a team that work out there now.
okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I mean day game, yeah, it is still workable there, day game, and if the
Well,
logic
not in
stuck.
August. Not in
Hmm?
August. Not in
Hmm?
August.
Yeah. Definitely. Like if you are going, I think June, July, August, it's too hot. You can only game, I guess, in the, in what we say in the hotels. They have this lobby area, casino area, or in
Oh
the
yeah,
shopping mall where the air conditioner is there, kind
yeah.
of
That's the
thing.
annoying thing is the weather. The day game is annoying because it's either too hot or too cold
Yeah,
in
it's
different.
too. Yeah.
That's why,
Uh,
yeah. But it's good to practice in cold and hot weather because it makes you like when it's decent weather, you know, you know, you've gone through the kind of like the challenge of having to keep her attention when it's too hot or too cold. So
Mm-hmm. So in your views, like day game is like real time game, day game, but we say is still like have a lot of like sometimes people say like day game is not worth that much these days. So in your views, day game is still like very much have the like a solid like way to get results.
yes, I put a video testimonial out last month. I went on a coffee date and slept with her. No, he met her. He met her
Oh,
in the daytime. Met in the daytime in a shopping mall. And at the seventh day of the course, and it's there for you guys to watch. It's called Coffee Date to Sex. And then he met up for coffee and he spent the evening with her. So the daytime coffee led to that.
okay.
Look,
Yeah,
I believe my last two boyfriends that I had, they chatted me up in the park in the daytime.
in the park.
In the park, both of them. I
Nice,
did.
nice.
Yeah. Well, we had like kind of. It wasn't a lockdown in London, but there was one point where a lot of things were shut and people were going to parks more. And I ended up going out with a guy for almost a year, and then the second guy in a different park, a different part of London, and I had this wonderful, incredible affair with him. So it does
So you
work.
have, yeah, that's so you have like all you have like what we say ethnic also as a boyfriend, or you always dated like white British male, or you have like what is your taste?
Um, I most of them have been white. One was half Arabic. I think one was, I think it was quarter black. One was a Pakistani guy, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Had a quite a long affair with him. Jewish. I do like a Jewish guy. Don't know why. Um, no, most of them have been white British or white European. Yeah.
Okay. So you see the differences between, for example, a white British guys is dating or Indian Pakistani guys have dated you, like you dated them. So you see the difference in behavior, in personality, or in emotionality, how they express themselves emotionally. You see the differences.
Um, so this guy is British Pakistani. They were all kind of British. They
Hmm.
just happen to be a different ethnicity. No, the differences, the major differences are ages. It's not races, it's ages. I date very, very young men on the whole, and I'm actually making a conscious effort to stop dating younger men. I don't want to date younger men anymore, but it is what I'm naturally very drawn to. And
Hmm.
dating a guy who's 22, I'm 42, so that is young. Dating a guy who's 22 compared to a guy who's 35 compared to a guy who's 45 is huge differences. So I find it's more the age difference than the race. I think that was different maybe years ago, but I think now it's become more to do with age.
So you prefer like younger guys. So when you were young, you also prefer younger guys, or it was different?
When I was young, I would go for younger guys. Even when I was 22, I would date an 18-year-old.
Uh-huh, that's interesting. Okay.
But I've been with older guys. So it's not like, well, that's it. There's no way. I had been one of the guys I was totally crazy about. It was, whoa, it was like a juggernaut hit me. And it's wonderful when it happens. But I think older guys, they have a lot more pressure on them than a young guy can make lots of mistakes. And the woman goes, oh, how charming. how sweet, you know. Like when I take younger guys, like when I go out with younger guys, they're very funny. They don't know what to order, so they order what
Hmm.
you're having. They always go,
Uh-huh.
I'll have the white wine. They say, and you're sitting there
Uh-huh.
drinking white wine, and you know, you think it's so cute. But if a 40-year-old man had copied me because he doesn't know what to drink at the bar, then it's not cute. So there's a lot more pressure on an older guy.
Mm-hmm. That definitely, definitely, like there is like pressure on the older guys.
A lot.
Uh,
And we
s-
have different superpowers. I always say the young guy has his superpowers, and the older guy has his superpowers. But what they can't do, this is what they make both of them make a mistake of trying to be. The younger one tries to be the older one tries to be the young one, and that's where the mistakes all happen.
okay, that's interesting. So when you say like older one trying to be younger, what do you mean by that?
So they will. It's not fashion or anything like that. It's more like um, a lot of them will try to act more kind of like fun and super positive about things. Whereas I think an older guy can actually be quite funny if he's kind of jaded almost, like he's owning that kind of like been there, done that. They're much more impressed. You know, older guys are like, oh, wow, cool, brilliant. You know, an older guy can't do that. He has to look like that he's seen it all. He's like, whatever, what's next? What have you got for me? Um, they have a problem with their age a little bit, so they'll start trying to sell themselves, which they shouldn't do. Older guys have been in a position where it's like they've done it all. They are they've seen women like this before. They've met women like this. They've been to bed with women like this. Whatever, big deal. They're not
Mm-hmm.
overperform like the younger guy that trying to sell themselves. That's what I mean when they sort of become young. They become too enthusiastic, too overexcited about things. They try and go woke. A lot of the guys. This is not. This is me not having a go at anyone who's woke. I don't have any issue with that. But I think a lot of older guys they try and force that woke kind of thing when it's not them because they think that the younger girl's going to kind of like that a bit.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I think that older. I always. This is a really cheesy point I'm going to make. It's a real cliche, but I want you to hear me out. I always say to my older guys, my students, what would James Bond do? And they go, oh well, you know, James Bond. You know, he's James Bond. No. If what would James Bond do in this situation if a woman said this to him? Would James Bond send this kind of emoji? Would James and suddenly they go, actually, they use that sometimes as a good reference point because James Bond is like the ultimate older guy, right? He's like that
Mm-hmm.
42,
Mm-hmm.
55-year-old. Take away his job, take away the fast car, the license to kill, and all that. Just him on his own, he would still be James Bond. He wouldn't suddenly become Mr. Goofy when he, you know, he retires. He would still be Mr. James Bond, that aloof, that's slightly detached, that's slightly, what have you got for me? And a younger guy cannot be like that. It's just impossible. He cannot be like James Bond. So they have to go and do other things that interest. They have to understand that a young guy has to understand his selling points. Women go for younger men because they want that fun puppy dog enthusiasm. They want him to be like, oh, wow, you're wonderful. Whatever you do is wonderful. We want that worship from the younger guy. We don't want to hear about how he's Mr. Serious because a lot of younger guys are like, oh, you know, they try and go very deep. And I have this career plan and that, because they're playing the older guy game. It's like, no, we don't we have that from the older guy, those deep meaningful conversations and things, not from you. We want you to provide fun and entertainment and just be wild and you know live out all our fantasies. It's two different
Yeah,
things.
yeah. I think like I will add something here. Like what I teach. Like the problem with this, like older guys, like they have to have the frame of like James Bond. The problem
Mm-hmm.
with this situation, this I what I see is that. So, for example, if if somebody is acting like a James Bond and he's approaching a girl, it is gonna be very tough. Like if he's doing mistake, then he gonna get like punished for the mistake. But if he is coming like a slightly not very perfect like James Bond, because sometimes what happen when we are like when like the guys are gaming or like seducing girls, sometimes they escalate or something, they do some joke or they escalate, and sometimes it not every time it is going landing perfectly. So when they are slightly not very not like slightly imperfect, then
Yeah.
it give them the room to recover from the mistakes that can happen. Because in any this in any interaction in seduction, for example, a guy it is very tough for a guy to always have a perfect escalation sequence or perfectly like and in sometimes it can happen that he jokes something and the girl didn't find it funny or something. So sometime I do tell like guys, the older guys, then you have to be slightly imperfect, slightly funny. Don't be completely like a serious guy, because when you're very serious like a boss, if you're like acting like a boss, then it is the boss is not supposed to take to do mistakes. But if you are like a guy who is slightly like not very perfect, and the girl already have this from the start picture, okay, this guy is like this, she will forgive you for your I mean, you are not allowed to do big mistakes, but here and there you do escalation and like not the perfect joke you do, and then it you can she will like forgive you and like okay, whatever, and you can move on with your like game. So this
It's
is what
not
I.
about forgiving you.
Hmm?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Sorry, did you finish?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So it's not about forgiving, it's about optimizing. I like
Hmm.
optimizing. I don't want someone to forgive me. I want to optimize on my mistakes. So I say to my students, if for instance you say to the girl, you're absolutely gorgeous, I think you're fucking sexy. She goes, huh? What did you say? You heard what I said. And she goes, why are you speaking to me like that? Doesn't anyone speak to you like that? No one's got the confidence to say that to you. My God, you've been hanging around with some beta males, So you use the rejection almost as a way to optimize, as a way to say, right, I'm going to bounce back with something, and that's going to make you realize that I'm attractive.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that also. Yeah. Uh,
Always have a
yeah.
comeback line. Always have a comeback line. Always. You have the comeback line to anything she says, and I sit with my students and I say, this is everything a woman can say to you, and this is your rebuttal. This is your comeback line. This is the chess move that you make, and then you do it. The hard bit, the really hard bit, is not the line; it's how you execute it. So if she feels there's any sign of like low level frustration or anger or awkwardness, it doesn't matter what you say. It's game over.
So imagine a scenario like I'm the girl, you are the guy, and you hold my hand, and I say, "Why you're holding my hand?" What you gonna
You're the
say?
girl, yeah?
I'm the girl, you are the guy, and you hold my hand, and I say, "Why you're holding my hand?" What you
So I'm
gonna
in love
say?
with you. I'm in love with you. And I smile
Okay.
like that. So that's me. I'm a jokey
Okay.
person. I'm a playful person. Now, if you're
Hmm.
not a playful person, that's the best move to make. But if you're like, look, I'm not playful like you, Kezi, I couldn't do that, then you can just say something like, what, guys never held your hand before? That's kind of
Okay.
cute. I find that really cute. You're going to make me work hard for this, aren't you? I like
Okay.
it. See, so it shows I'm used to women who make it
Hmm.
easy for me. I find your challenge a pleasure. Let's have fun. Everything that she says to you, the number one thing I teach my students, everything that comes out of her mouth, don't look at it as good, bad. It's all good. It's all good. What you do with it, it's all chess. You come back with something and you optimize out. The worst thing that can happen is she laughs and says, look, thank you, but no thank you. But you've still
Hmm.
kept dignity intact. She's never going to go away going, what a creep. She's going to go away and go, he was very confident. He wasn't for me, but I have a level of respect for him. And that's good. That's the,
Mm,
that's the worst
that's
that happened to you. It's happy days.
That's a good mindset, yeah. So, so like, if the guys are coming, so what kind of like inner game mindset and all you tell them, like, what are the like what we say? positive
And
productive mindsets a guy should have when they want to learn game and want to like meet girls in the real time, because in the start it's gonna be, it can be daunting if, because guys can face a lot of rejections. So what are the like mindset, positive mindset you teach your students?
I'm not really a positive mindset person. I think people who are negative can also do quite well for themselves, and in some ways, negativity can also be a bit of a funny motivator, believe it or not.
Hmm.
So it's not so much about positive mindset. I think guys who come to me, most of them have already done that positive step and realised that
Hmm.
you know, um, is a better option for them. So they're already coming from a positive kind of angle. The main thing I think is the chess moves, is learning how to play chess, is learning how to play game. And what happens is the more results that you manage to, the more reference points you manage to collect, the more then it sort of works as a positive feedback loop. If the references fuel the confidence fuels the results. I will give my a big piece of advice I give my students is you have to feel the pain. If you really have approach anxiety, and if you feel like you just can't get over that fear of rejection, you've got to go out and get rejected until you are completely immune, numb to it. Because when you're going around with this fear, it's like a fog in your head. And when you have the fog of fear, you can't make good chess moves. You can't be calculated. You can't remember what Kezia said or what Deepak said or that great line. You can't. You just noise, anger, frustration, fear. And eventually what happens is you start approaching, girl says fuck off, you say stupid things to the girl. Say, I'm an alien, I've come out of space and I want to impregnate you. Say the things that are going to blow you out, 100%. You know it's going to blow you out. Yeah. And then experience it. And then after a while, something starts changing. You start genuinely not giving a shit. Not giving a shit.
Hmm.
And then fog is lifted. You're emotionally detached. You must be always emotionally detached from your approaches. It's reptilian, but you have to if you want to do well. And you can only do that if you fight through the pain. Some people can go into that reptilian mode quite quickly. They can just sort of dissociate themselves and put away, it's almost sociopathic that they can sort of just switch off the emotions. The vast majority can't. They have to go through that pain. They don't feel it anymore. They're like, you look at some of these people that go to war and you think, oh my God, how do they do it? They didn't just wake up and go to war. They got trained for it. They're prepared for it. So it's the same thing, essentially. So what happens is the fog lifts. You can make more calculated moves. Deepak told me to do that. I remember. You start putting the blame on yourself, which is very important. You must always put the blame on yourself for every interaction. Okay, she was a mega bitch. How do I handle a mega bitch? Not, she's a mega bitch. What's her fucking problem? I hope she dies. That's not going to help you. She's a mega bitch. That's who she is.
Hmm.
Work out how to gain the mega bitch. And it's become stress. You see two people playing chess. The one who's emotionally invested, who's frustrated, who's angry, that person's going to lose. You know it. The person who's
Yeah.
calm, calculated, they're going to do well. But to get to that point, you've got to get through the fog of fear.
Yeah, that's a one thing you said very interesting, because you said like some people can emotionally detach, like,
Yes.
and some people cannot, which is very good point, because I have seen this thing in the clients, and there are some dating coaches also, they are like that. So this is
Yes.
how I see some are like emotionally, like I will say like 95% of the people are still emotional, and there are maybe 5% of the people in pickup community, there will be more, that percentage will be more. So some guys are definitely, they are completely disconnected from the emotions, so no matter what happens, they don't feel that kind of like sadness, or sometimes they don't even feel the happiness, so they are just like emotionally numb. For them, for
Yeah.
example, if something happens in front of them, like girl is rejecting, it is not hurting them that much. But 95% of the guys who are normal, it really hurt because the emotions are like working properly, and they have to learn to have that emotional intelligence and control that emotions. They have to learn to be slightly, what we say, learn to be it's a like negative but slightly sociopathic kind of traits, how they can
Oh, that's what
control the
it says.
emotion and make the things happen. It is interesting because the second kind of people, they also come in the game. The problem they have, they can they can get away with the approach anxiety and all, but if they get laid, the problem they face is to get into relation because they are not able to communicate on that emotional level with the girl. So big problem but they face is like having keeping that relation with the girl. So this is something I have seen. Maybe I don't know if you have seen this thing.
Um, well, it is about getting a balance, right? Too extreme style, and then that carries through to relationships. There's a problem there. So it is something, yes, worth monitoring. Saying that, we have one coach on our team, just got married, had a baby. She was pregnant when we got married. We have another one who we've had 4 babies, and they're in happy relationships over the 4 babies have come in the last 8 years or something. So,
Mhm.
they're doing well, some of them. There's some of them who've just got girlfriends, normal relationships. So it can be done. It can be done.
Ah, okay, yeah. So you have like kids or something, or you are you have, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone's so shocked. I'm 42. I hope
Yeah,
I
okay.
it's by now.
Hmm?
Yes, uh, yeah, I'm 42. I have kids. Yeah,
Ah,
um,
okay.
yeah.
That's no, I mean, also I'm 40. I'm older than you actually. I will be 45 this year actually. So
But you're a man. It doesn't matter. Do you have
yeah, yeah.
kids?
So yeah, I have one. Yeah, I have one
Oh, you
boy.
have kids. Okay. But even if you didn't, it doesn't matter. A man can have it later on. But a
Yeah,
woman,
yeah, yeah.
I think the cutoff point is about my age now, probably.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's good. So yeah, and so sometime I've seen like I mean like you as you told, like you have, okay, you said like a majority of the guys comes to you are like white British male guys or like
American.
but you have also like Indian guys or black guys or something you have, and you have coached them. These people you have coached them
Yeah,
also.
quite a few of them have been Arabic.
Yeah. So in one way, like you are you are like a girl, you are a female dating coach, white British female dating coach, and you can coach if a minority can come to you. Because sometimes I have seen like sometimes I get criticized that oh, Deepak is like he's not able to speak proper English, but no, he cannot teach us game or something. Uh, uh, and so I think like I will ask your opinion. So if a like if a British person like or like you are, for example, you can some Indian, Pakistani or Arab guy is coming, you can teach them. So is vice versa is also possible? Like
What?
if an Indian guy is like teaching, then and he has the proof of bringing success to the proof of like dating. I'm not saying that like Indian guy who is dating who's successful in Delhi. I'm saying Indian guy who's successful in England or in USA or in Europe. Then definitely like he is capable of teaching some like local British guy or what we say
Yeah.
European guy. So that's something I get criticized. So in so I think like both ways are like definitely like if what we say if a British person can teach and minority, then vice versa is definitely possible as long as he has the proof.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I don't really understand why you're asking me the question. Even, I mean, if you're good with women and you can prove it and you can break down what you do, it doesn't matter if you're Indian or green or white. As long as you just can, you can't just be good with women. You've got to be able to teach it and break it down. So
Yes,
I had a lot of guys who
exactly.
work for me, and they are players. They get any woman they want, and then I go, great, teach it, and they go, oh. Just be confident. Just say the. You think, no, no, you're very good. A round of applause. You can't teach. Go learn to teach. Go break down what it is that you do. And by the way, with naturals, so the guy who approached me, the second guy in the park, I told him, I said, your game is insane. You've got the most insane game I have ever met. And I told him what he was doing. I broke it down. He said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. He said, no, 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 shut up, shut up. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. You're talking shit to me. Don't want to know. They don't want
So
to know.
so
It's no game. They're just kind of naturally good.
so you have like in your team, you have like some kind of you have like some like ethnic coach also, or like they're all like
Yeah,
that's
we have ethnic coaches. We have Indian, we have
ah,
Jewish, we have Black, we have Iranian, we have Turkish, we have Greek,
ah.
and we have Chinese. We've got a Chinese guy. He's brilliant in that one. And yeah, most of them are white, but we do that. I've just named you 8 that work for me that are
Ah,
ethnic.
so you have like a multicultural kind of team of coaches.
Yeah, I do not judge. I just know if someone's good and they know how to break it down, they got a job with me.
So I also think like we should not like people should not judge because of race or something. Sometimes because I see like and for example an IT professional from India who is hired in some company in bank in UK or something like that, he's not going to get judged for his race or for his skin color. He's getting judged for his skills. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Is like, for example, you hire some Asian coach or Indian coach or Iranian coach. You are not judging for his skin color. You are judging that he is able to bring students results.
Well, I'm not a racist. That's why. That's a racist person would judge someone on their skin color. That's it. That's it. That's a racist person that judges someone on their skin color. I
Yeah.
judge people on their merit and what they're about. I teach every single person as an individual. And so, yeah, I'm just not a racist person. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, nice to hear that. Yeah. So and so, what are your future plans? Like you, how like you are continuing this journey, teaching guys, helping,
Yeah,
bringing
I love
smile
it.
on their face.
I love what I do. I love the aspect I love is the cleverness of it. I love social dynamics. I love using psychology. I love manipulation a little bit. I'm not afraid to use that expression. Okay, with manipulation is everywhere. It's in the news, it's in adverts, it's in marketing. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating how it has to develop, how it evolves. We can't even use certain pickup tactics that we used 20 years ago. They've evolved. There's certain things which remain the same, like certain principles of attraction that never change and they're universal. But there are certain things that have changed. And I find that fascinating. I really find what I do so interesting. And I love to, my theories and my exercises, they evolve all the time. And I've always got like, every year I've got new stuff to share. It's like, actually, that response I gave you last year, I got something better than that. This is even better. And you think, oh, it's not going to be better. And then it is better. I just, I think people like you and me are just doing a great service for guys out there. I think there's a lot of life coaches, there's a lot of fitness instructors, there's a lot of people teaching crypto and all this stuff. Fine. But we are helping men very specifically do better with women. And we're doing it in a way that's not to hate women or put women down like certain communities. We know that women and men are different. It doesn't mean women are bad and men are good or good and bad. It's just they're different. How female desire, attraction is different. It's a bit more complicated than male attraction. And we're trying to figure things out. We're helping them figure things out. And we're doing, we're not doing it in a misogynistic, women are stupid to say this to them kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely like I'm also not that kind
I
of
hate that.
person.
If I met a guy who was like that, I'd just be like, oh, those guys who say that they don't get women. They get the only women they get are extremely toxic women, and that's why they don't have any kind of like successful relationship with them because they are dating women who are used to dating men who hate women. Like just Deepak, imagine I hated men. I said I hate men, and then I date a guy. What would you think of that guy? You think, well, something wrong with him. He's
It's
dating a
gonna
woman
be
who hates
tough. Yeah.
something wrong with him, psychological. He's got problems, right? So if any woman dates a man who openly says, I hate women, women are stupid, women are whores, women are second-rate citizens, that woman has a mental problem. You don't date someone that hates your, your sex.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
definitely. Yeah, no, no, that's correct. Like if you're coming from the position of hate, okay, you
negative.
can have a short time encounter, huh? Sorry?
Yeah, it's like it's a negative way of where you're coming
Yeah,
from, and
yeah,
rather than a positive one, and they're coming from a point of pain. All those guys, they have been badly hurt by a woman or several women beforehand, and this is their way of purging it and making themselves feel better. It's really sad, actually. They need to work on themselves better and get some help.
yeah, you can have short time encounter, but when it comes to like relationship and all, it's gonna be tough. And majority of the guys, if I have seen like 90% of the guys, I will say more than 90% of the guy who come in the game and want to learn, they want to have like a relationship, like some like relationship, have a girlfriend or something like that. That what I've seen. 90% of the guys, they are like coming from that. And when you are very young, okay, that's a different situation. Then you want to have some enjoyment. But if you're coming from the hate, it's gonna be very, very tough to keep in a relationship. Definitely, you have to have, even if the last girl. Maybe the last girl break your heart or something, or she was toxic. Maybe that's why you need game, so that you can vet properly, you can see the red flags and you can vet her. And then that's why you need game, that you have abundance, you have the alternative. If she has red flag, you leave her, and then you can choose the another, you can go for the another girl. But if you have no abundance, there is only one girl, then you will start to make the compromises, and there the problems start to come. I have one guy who came to coaching. He's from USA, and he went to like before he went to East Europe, married a girl. She has a kid, and then she came to USA, and then she made his life living hell. And then he said like it was like police case and all, and this, and now she has a permanent like residency there. So, and now she file cases. And he told me some of her characteristics. I said like, this girl is narcissist. I mean, the way you're explaining, and I can see clearly it's not going to work, and you have to get out of it. So, and he was like
That's
desperate.
that's different. What you're teaching is how to spot red flags. That's completely different. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, a lot of them, what they're teaching now, it's becoming more and more sensational. It's like, I think it's got to a point where they're destroying themselves now because, at first it was kind of a little bit easy to say that about women and things like that, but now it's just becoming like, I heard someone on Twitter the other day just going, "Women are all whores. Women are all whores." That's it. It was a statement, and it was just like, what was one of them? They wrote on Twitter, women are unable to make any decisions.
um
Not bad decisions. They're not allowed to. They cannot. They are unable to make decisions. And I just thought of all those women who run companies. Margaret Thatcher, please, like Margaret Thatcher is probably, whether you like her or you hate her, she was one of the strongest leaders of the United Kingdom, the prime ministers. One of the toughest, strongest. She made decisions. So, I can't even believe that I have to even have, that I'm even indulging in this nonsense. But
yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
like
it creates hate. It's audience, it's audience, what do you call it? Audience farming, attention farming. It's the internet. Internet's horrible. When I'm
yeah, I
saying
mean,
to
like when it comes to politics, like in our side, like we have this Angela Merkel. Like in the start, she did really good job. She make this like economy very strong, but on the last year, she did very big blunders. So that was like with this, I think
she made decisions,
2015. No, the,
but
the
she made
bad decision she made, like this immigration crisis. If you remember, 2015-16, we had a big this thing. So that was
1
because of
million.
her. Hmm?
Yeah, but the point, 1 million you had come in. But
Yeah.
my point is that they didn't say women make bad decisions. They said are unable to make decisions.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like. Yeah, they're definitely like, that's it.
Yeah, they make a decision not to date them, so they've made a decision. It's just not the decision that they wanted.
Yeah, sometimes they say like, which is very interesting that like yeah, don't date girls below 25. And sometimes I see like it is very, very unpractical kind of situation. If somebody guy who's sitting in London or in New York, and who is maybe, imagine like who is like 39, 38, 39, 40-year-old guy, and he listened to this idea like don't date girl who is below 25. And in these country, in these places, like even like if you go to other Central Europe or East Europe or something, 22, 23, they are not interested in like relationship. They are all like on Instagram. So how you can imagine a guy sitting in New York listening to your advice, or you as a Los Angeles or in the UK, and then follow that, oh, I should search a girl who is 22-year old and she should be like having 3 account, and then I will make her my wife. I think this is very unpractical advice. I think this is, I don't know, like how, okay, it is good to listen to, but how somebody able to, if practically it is possible or not possible, that's the question.
So yeah, I'm very much about what's practical. Like I'm very much about solutions. I don't sit there. I've never said women are bad. I said just, this is how women operate. This is how they think, and this is what you need to do if you want to, build up attraction with a woman. If you want to get increased results with women, it's all practical. Learn, copy, paste, next. It's like not just me sitting there, sort of just explaining women. I'm actually giving kind of like structured pieces of advice that you can implement. I think it's very important, and I'd like to see more of that. I would like to see more practical advice out there, but it's getting more and more just people debating with each other, arguing with each other, having these stupid dramas. You see these dramas they're all having now.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen, but I just I'm very technical. I mean, like one of the most technical guys. So I love the, I'm like a nerd in game, but like maybe another time, like I love to talk about game. So I just cannot able to, I touch the red pill thing, I watch, but I cannot go too deep because there's so much stuff I have to do with my students, with my work actually.
You're busy,
So
like me. You're busy. You haven't got time for drama wars. We've got things to
ye-
do.
yeah,
People
yeah,
text.
just like just the game require lot of deep knowledge, lot of understanding of like the female behavior, lot of things, and you have like different guys with different problems, different type of girls. There's a lot of things in the game. If somebody's really go deep, it's so much to learn actually. So I tried my best, but I cannot able to find time to go to that, this red pill thing, where like I have seen you actually in some debates or something like that, but I
Two debates, and I said not again because I just realised it was a complete waste of time, and that you can't really argue with people with radical views. And this black pill guy, he was completely had this most radical view, and you can't really you can't argue with somebody who's got such entrenched views, and they're not prepared to have an to be they're not prepared to be persuaded in any way. So it's like a religion. If somebody follows a religion, even if you beat them in an argument and you make them see that their religion has a flaw or something, they will still have faith. It won't compromise. It will not compromise their faith. And I believe that some of these conversations that I have with these people, it's like they're so made up. It's like a religion. They have this faith in it. Even if you win the argument, they're going to go off and they're going to still have that same ideology. But look, on that note, I have to go now, Deepak.
okay.
So
So okay, so we can quickly check the questions, and then we can so we
I have
have
to go soon.
yeah, how much time you have?
About 4 minutes. I've got an
4
appointment.
minutes.
That's why.
Okay, so okay, we have there's not too special. I will just answer them later then. There's not okay, then who's she's dating coach. Okay, somebody's complimenting you, that's good. So okay, then Uh, yeah, okay, that's it. I will take care of them later. So yeah, it was good actually, good discussion, and good that we have a positive, productive discussion. You have now that Deepak exists also. I already know
What?
about you from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2012 actually. So at that
Yeah, you've
time,
seen age.
hmm? What?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me on. And it was really interesting to hear what you have to say. I think a lot of what we teach is quite similar, slight
Yeah,
differences in some regards, but obviously you're coming from it from a really good place, and you know you're again it's productive, it's helping people. So well done to you. Um,
yeah.
can I mention my website?
Yes, yes, of course, yes. Website,
Okay, so
YouTube, whatever you have.
yeah, if you just go to kezia-noble.com, you can find out all the information about my programs there, my online training programs also, and you can find links to my socials and my YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, thanks for you being here and take care. Best of luck for the future, and
Sorry,
maybe we
didn't
see
hear
each
that.
other again. I said best of luck for the future, and
Oh,
maybe we
sorry.
will see each other again in future in live
Yeah,
stream. Let's
hopefully.
see.
Yeah. Sorry, it went a bit blurry. But yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and same to you too. Same to you.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
So, guys, this was I can check the answers, questions, what you have here. Um, mm, 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 mm. Question. Okay, what is this question? Question for both. What? Whenever I talk to attractive women, I had in my head and keep thinking what to say next and shut down completely. Any suggestion? Ah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, and this is like running out of word to say. So you have to practice. You can do like in the boot camp. I teach this 5 minute non-stop talking exercise. You can do. First, you start with like improvised non-stop talking kind of conversation, like you set the 5 minutes clock and practice every day, or if you have time you can do it many times in a day, 2 3 times. You talk non-stop whatever comes in your head, but don't talk like don't, it should be socially calibrated. uh, don't say like, oh, I love to what we say, masturbate, or I love to watch xyz, this kind of stuff. So just have to be socially calibrated, but talk 5 minutes kind of thing. This I do with my students in the it's a very first base exercise when they are like in their head all the time. So then it is the second version will be like game related, kind of like having a game scenario, and then you are just practicing that game scenario, even if the person is not in front of you, but you're speaking in that way that she's giving you answer, and then like doing that game scenario kind of thing, conversation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or something like that. So that definitely help you. That when I was learning the game 2011 around, I used to do with my other friend. We were like with my wingman. I used to do so. That definitely will help you. RNRS without insta exchange. What numbers? Ah, okay, numbers without exchange is worthless nowadays. SD, it is SDL or number, or when bad logistics. And I mean, like without insta. You can take the number. Instagram is okay. I take Instagram also. I take numbers also, numbers, and then get like WhatsApp thing, I will say. Like WhatsApp, and then you can if you have like a game, you have practiced the game, you can do video messages, voice messages, practice the voice messages. You can do the voice messages, video messages. um, um, uh, and learn to get the number. When you are taking the number, then you are building that intimacy with the girl. In the dating infield's domination, you will see where like advanced level infields where you will clearly see that the girl is into me, even if I'm like taking like 15 minutes of number close. I mean, I guarantee like something like this you're not going to see anywhere in the world. So when I'm taking the number, the girl is into me, and then you will see multiple examples, something like this. You have to build that intimacy, then the number is very solid, and then when you meet the girl, you don't need to do too much of things like you just take the girl home, drink a coffee, take the girl, as long as she is from West Europe, Central Europe, um, not like East Europe. We talk about this thing another time. I'm the one who has the lot of knowledge about these places, so I can exactly even tell okay, let's talk about another time. So yeah, if the girl is from Central Europe or West Europe, then just drink coffee and or like simple beer or something, and then you take the girl home, and you can have boom boom with her. So but the when the things need to be done when you're taking the number. uh, Instagram is a good for long time game also. Sometimes you take the number, sorry, Instagram, and you are in touch, and maybe the girl becomes single, and then you can close the deal. I have done it many times. Instagram, try to improve your Instagram also. That's something I'm not saying like having like if you are not an extrovert personality, then at least you can have some good pictures here and there. Make some pictures and put them in Instagram, and you know um, that is also it is better than like nothing. Oh, what is this? Who is this? She was like Kezia Noble. Maybe we have actually more this stream. We have like more people, so I'm getting. I write me if I'm getting better with my streams. Uh, if you can also give me suggestions, like if I take interview, what how should I like if I'm doing fine or what I need to improve, because this is something I'm doing for the first time. Um, Maybe I learn from her and try. Okay, maybe I learn to try her skills. She's true. Yeah, yeah, why not? But the boss is here. I'm just telling you. Yeah, Deepak, you're not going to get better than Deepak. That's I can challenge anyone in this world. Actually, you can cut that part in the stream and just give it to any other dating coach. I'm open for any live debate or anything. If any dating coach has balls to do with me, and if he can make better product than what I have made dating in fields domination. So but I respect my guest definitely, so I will not say anything against her. So in our Indian culture we have this tradition that we always respect our guest. He's really the first dating coach he's really the first dating coach in the world. What it means, I have fucking no idea what it means. The Yeah, best dating coach. I'm not the first one. I think the first one. um, uh, I when the dating coach came, I was just like in India at that time, I guess. Respect is maybe for a guys who come from behind. That okay? What is this? Victim come from behind. I I don't understand this thing. Slightly above average clients. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can happen that she gets uh, slightly above average. But if she's saying 80% are white, then definitely it will be is slightly different kind of scenario for her, and that's okay. I don't judge people. That's fine. You know. Mm. Hmm. Okay, this book thing. I will write some book or something like that, but it takes some time. I'm very busy right now because this like I had like since 2020 I'm not able to make a proper comeback. Honestly, like I think I made a video when I my ear got destroyed and have some depression and all, and then I tried to come back, and then again I had like issues with my health. And the last year I was also very sick. uh, I I have like I will I'm fine now. So now I'm like I have to do like this backlog, lot of things I have to like, you know, on the channel and my online presence, something like this. Also, like one thing, I don't know if you like why guys are watching. So I am looking for someone who can help me in the. I will make a proper in the YouTube announcement also. But if somebody is watching, then I'm looking for someone who can help me in who has some experience in the YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels and something like that. I'm working on a side project, but right now the work I have so much that I cannot focus on that part. But again, everybody's doing it, so I want to start this thing. Also, this Instagram Reels or like YouTube Shorts or something like that. um, when I see a really attractive guy, I begin to, I'm too short, I'm Asian, I'm ugly, she won't like me. Third, don't approach because you have to have like strong inner game in the sense you have to be slightly um, um, like a narcissistic in a positive way. I will say that when I started the game, and it was also the issue for me, it was a very big issue for me. And I make myself really I start to it looks a bit very awkward. I don't know if I should say something like this, but I'm saying in the context of cold approach game that I literally see myself like because a lot of Indians literally think that they are inferior than like white people, or when they're coming in the Western society or something, they think they are inferior. Then I think you're Asian guy, but maybe you can relate with it. But it is very much relatable to Indians also. They think they are inferior because we are told our culture and everything is like not good. And when we go to the West, and then because we already have this inferiority complex, even for our language, for our culture, and when we immediately come in this Western society, we start to see literally in our mind that the Western society or white people or something, they are better than us. Um and that affects Indian people, especially. Like Asian can also have this issue, but I think the Asian peoples are not grown up hating Asian culture, but Indian people, majority of Indian people are grown up hating Indian culture and tradition. Even me also, like even in my family, unfortunately, like I will say it was not that like we were not like told about our culture that much, and it's like at least like in the Hindu families. So that is something when they come, and that is something I have seen, and they become like completely like weak. So something you have to think that like, okay, now the I'm too short, I'm Asian, I'm ugly, you have to see yourself, you are the best, you are better than everyone. Just being like in narcissistic, but have this at the same time have empathy. So that is something I will suggest you. You have to think that you are the fucking best, you are like you are the top of the food chain. Even if people believe, if people are believing or not believing it, just keep, if you say some to something, maybe they will laugh. Don't talk about it, just keep it in your mind. Because that what we say, if you are not entitled to talk to girls, the first of all you need to have entitled. Only when you have entitled, you will able to approach girl, and then you able to learn the game. If you're not even entitled to talk, go and talk to girl, then how you will able to learn the game? I'm saying here also, just because you are entitled, it is not that you are getting the girl. But when you're entitled, you are able to approach her, and then you able to learn how to get her. So this is the first part, that you have to think that you are the fucking boss, you are the best, and then you learn a proper game, because now you are able to approach her and then play a proper game. How to overcome these negative beliefs? Okay, we have already. Deepak Bhai, oh, this is better to have white wingman or Indian wingman when gaming. Both guys have average looking. They like um, I mean, okay, white woman. White woman as a, I mean, white woman as a gaming. Okay, white. Ah, okay. When you're gaming a white woman, you have to be very careful. Like the wingman should be. You have to be careful in the way that the wingman should understand your situation and helping you, not stealing food from you. Because I'm very sensitive with this thing, with this topic, with this wingman. Because when I came to Germany, my German was very bad. And the problem at that time was like, when I started to game in 2009 2010, and I was also, excuse me, and like broken German, and I learned to at least approach. So what happened? I approached the girl, a group of girls, and then my German wingman came, and they start to speak in this their mother tongue German language, and I'm just thrown out of this conversation. And it happened again and again and again and again. And one day I just step up and I said like this: this is not. I'm not going to allow. And it happened not with one guy; it happened with multiple guys. And then like, I decided like, I will do game alone, or like I will go only with guys who are not like stealing the girl. If I am talking to the girl, who are productively helping me or not interfering in the interaction when I'm talking to the girl. So I have my wingman, my guys are like that. I mean, right now I just game all alone. I don't really need anyone. But this is something like, I will say like, a wingman should be like helping you. One thing also, if a wingman is too good looking, then what will happen, even if he says like he's not doing, then what may happen, that you are gaming the her attention is going to that wingman, if wingman is too good looking. And then what will happen, that it's not gonna work, you know so you have to test with the guys how they react, how the girls react, and according to that, you have to see. Most wanted to the most known female. uh, Yeah, it's that's okay, man. Like, less than 20 people watching. Yeah, it's just like we started it, and like, practice make the things perfect, and like it will grow like in future. So it's all good. We never outset someone. Okay, yeah. And then I get a life partner in Europe because I want to come for a job in Europe, and I want to. Mm. So if you get the partner, that's fine, man. Why not? What else we have? Okay. Thanks, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the dating influence domination is really like really good product. I mean, that is something I can challenge, that if anyone, I don't want to talk in front of her, like, my stuff too much, because if sometime I speak in my, like, my this aggression, it can intimidate. I don't want to make people, my guests, to intimidate, too much. So I am slightly like chill out and don't talk too much. My guests are like, they have to feel comfortable. So okay, yeah. Deepak is 100% will not learn his अच्छा yeah I mean सही बात बता रहा हूँ यार हम थोड़ा झूठ थोड़ा ना बोलेंगे हम I'm saying the right thing. I mean, like, this is the problem. And then the same thing, because if you are not able to, you have to understand, if you are not able to um respect your identity, your background, then it's going to be very tough for other people to, like, you know respect you. There are some guys, for example, Indian guys who come in the game, like learning the game, and they just don't talk about anything that is Indian. And I said to them, like, like, I was shaking my head that, like, they just don't talk. They feel so, like their identity is so bad that they don't want to talk, or they want to. I am not saying that you should, like, talk in a Western way or something, or like this and that and that and that. But there is nothing wrong if you say that I cook some Indian food, or my, like, in Mumbai or in Chennai or in Delhi, like, this is, like, it's amazing there, this. They just don't talk about it, like, so sometimes I feel it quite quite bad. I mean, like, I talk about my thing, and I have no problem. I mean, you have seen my infield and all. I just proud of who I am. And I will suggest everyone, if you are Asian, then you're proud of who you are. If you are black are already, like, proud of who they are. I mean, they have, like, other issues, but like, if you are Arab, Asian, Indian, Hindu, Indian in the sense, like, or like, you should be who you are, proud of who you are. That is definitely the first thing you have to um, keep in mind, especially for like Indians. Definitely they have to, because have to more focus, because this inferiority complex in Indians is feeded, like, a lot, hating their culture. That is something we have. Yeah, I will come to India in oh, definitely, like, let's see, I will come. My family is there in India, Delhi, so I will let you know. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. What is back being authentic, Desi? Yeah, thank you. Some Spanish, etc. to hide. Uh, they try to say some they are Spanish. I mean, it's okay. Like, if you want to, it's okay that you can hide identity. Father is Indian, mother is Spanish or Italian. You can say something, but deep inside, you should not feel ashamed. In the sense, you can, in the sense, like, like, you, because of the situation, you change your identity. That's okay, because you want to, like, secure. But from inside, you should still proud of who you are. That is, like, more than, like, more important. I will say that from inside you are more also very proud of who you are. That is something I will say. But here and there, you can say, like, I'm from there, I'm from there. I'm from. There was one guy came. His documentary I will release, like, really, like working like hardcore programmer, and you will see his infield in the product, how he's pulling girls in New York. And this guy's, like, he's he's he is, I don't want to tell, like, from which part of India. So he called me. So Deepak bhai ठोक डाला, दीपक भाई उसको भी ठोक डाला, दीपक भाई उसको भी ठोक डाला, मजा आ गया, मजा आ गया, मजा आ गया, चूस रही थी मेरा. So he was like he's in California. I will not tell which city exactly, which place. So he's there, and he's doing really good job. He's like uh, doing good. So Uh, um, so guys, so I okay, that was good. The stream is also really good, and we have like a lot of concurrent viewers, like 20, maybe because of this was a girl, but it was good, productive. So hope you have learned something from this discussion. I'll bring other guys also on this stream on my channel, and so take care, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.